Hi everybody, it's Olivia Blanchard, the brand builder again, and so let's resume our little discussion about the real ROI of social media. In other words, not so much the conversation and all that, but the discussion you want to have with the decision makers, whether it's your boss or your client, who don't really find the whole conversation, building relationships, really that important. It's not a priority for them. So we're trying to help you guys kind of tie social media back to a sales number, so that it matters for them and you can get in there and actually work on the projects that you think are important for that company, for that brand. So we've already covered reach earlier this week, and we've also covered frequency. So today let's talk about the third portion of this, which is yield. And the simplest explanation of what yield is, it's the average dollar amount per transaction. So it doesn't matter if a customer buys from you every single day or once a week or once a month across a specific set of or period of time, whether it's a quarter, a half, a month, a year, whatever it may be. You can average out their transactions with you, and that's the yield. So let's assume that you have a customer or a group of customers that spends on average $50 per transaction with you. That's the yield. That's the base number that you're going to try to impact. And what you're trying to do is get that 50 to turn into 55, and that 55 to turn into 60, and that 60 to turn into 70, and so on and so forth. And social media is a really good way or a good toolkit to kind of move that ball along. The problem with traditional media is that when you're trying to influence how much somebody spends in your store, you have to do campaigns. You have to incentivize customers to spend a certain amount in order to get a discount. And so it's going to work every time that you send out a coupon or have a special, but you have to keep repeating that. It doesn't really grow over time. You're basically getting people in the store, incentivizing them to spend a little bit more, cutting into your bottom line, and then you have to repeat that over and over again. With social media, what you can do is by developing relationships, by becoming more important in their lives, by increasing your value to them, emotionally, any way that you can, is essentially to grow that over time without having to incentivize them. You want to make them want to spend more money with you. And there are a lot of different ways of doing that. Some of it is just awareness. Maybe you're not contacting, you're not touching your customers enough as it is, but through social media, because you're in constant contact with them, they're going to, for example, find out a lot more about services or products that they didn't even know you had. Maybe they were doing business with you in a certain way, and now by getting them into the store where they might have been, using your website before, or vice versa, they're going to discover a whole line of products or a whole types of line of services that they had no idea existed or didn't understand their value. So through social media, you can get them to eventually start spending a little bit more of their money every time in your store, and make them feel good about it. You don't have to trick them into it. You don't have to bribe them into it. So that's something that I want you to think about. It's actually fairly easy to measure. Again, it's a basic, sales-related metric, and it's something that you can take to a very pragmatic suit, and show, okay, yes, with social media, with what we're trying to build here, we're going to impact this one thing. We're also going to impact reach. We're also going to impact frequency, but we want to impact yield as well. Pretty good stuff. All right. Talk to you soon. Thanks for listening.